is In the Know for Wednesday, March 27th, the 87th day of 2024. There are 279 days left in the year. Good morning, MD. Guiding you to In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. The meeting was held in Lexington yesterday. We'll tell you about that. And continuing to unwrap the tragedy in Baltimore Harbor. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Been really busy, but
Been really
good.
busy?
Yes.
Okay, you've been Vandelay industrying this morning and all that? All right, very good. Importing and exporting?
Importing and exporting.
Great to hear. I did notice in the kitchen there are some Easter goodies, maybe some miniature chocolate Easter bunnies that maybe are Reese's or something on the inside. So if you're going to go after one of those, are you feet first or ears first? How are you going to consume your bunny?
I'm an ear first kind of person.
Okay, is there a reason?
I don't know. No.
I don't know. 78% of us prefer the ears first.
Okay.
11% go for the feet, and then 11% chomp down on the tail. If you've got a chocolate bunny that's big enough that it has that tail. I don't know what that suggests about our behavior, but nonetheless, that's how we prefer it. Over there, we say good morning and welcome back. She is the Grayson County Extension Service Ag Agent, Miss Whitney Carmen. Morning.
Morning.
Welcome back.
I am glad to be here. Finally.
You've been on assignment doing other things the last few weeks.
I have.
But you have returned just in time for Easter. But I want to know what was the last part?
The best time of year.
It is the best time of year until your team gets bounced from the first round of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then not so good. But have you checked on your bracket in the last few days?
I was in third at one point, but I think I've probably dropped further down than that, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at it in the last couple of days.
The ladies were leading the way in the
They
top
were.
3 spots at the end of the weekend, and there's no reason that would have changed. That's right. You 3 ladies, 45, 43, 42 are pacing the field of the gents until the play gets started again tomorrow night. And who's your pick now that the team you want to win is no longer in it?
Well, I still am going with UConn. I think they're going to be tough to beat, and the way they played. It's interesting. They all kind of end up, those top 4 teams, they all kind of took care of business over the weekend, it seems like, and pretty handily. So I think that I'm still sticking with UConn.
There are a couple of seeds that didn't carry their weight, Auburn, Kentucky.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything was pretty chalky, and it sets up for final couple of weekends of the tournament. There are in ESPN's bracket challenge, there are now 0 perfect brackets remaining. A majority of those happened at the first. As soon as Michigan State beat Mississippi State, that wiped out a bunch because people didn't have that upset picked.
You know, and Michigan State's always interesting to me, too, because I don't ever really pick them in the tournament because they always seem to crap out, but that's just me.
Well, after the first 2 games at Mississippi State and South Carolina, both were flamed out, and I was mad because I pick them every year, and I should learn. And I literally did set myself a reminder for next year not to pick them. But as it come to find out, there was a whole bunch of SEC teams that didn't carry their that didn't do what they were supposed to do. But it looks like the NCAA, they have their own bracket challenge. They had most of their remaining perfect brackets were busted before the Sweet 16. None remain there. So this would have been a tough pick, because you had to pick some key upsets rather than just picking the right number of upsets. But mine's pretty ugly, pretty embarrassing. Yeah. Sunny today and quiet weather to end the week after our windy day yesterday and getting buffeted around. We'll see sunny and quiet warming trend for the rest of the week. As we get to Saturday, going to be warm. We're going to be in the mid 70s on Saturday and Sunday, even warmer on Monday. For today, we'll see clearing skies, a high of 57, mostly clear 30 for tonight, sunny tomorrow, and a high of 62. Do need to tell you about a traffic advisory. A semi has overturned in the 4200 block of Wax Road. I am presuming that's Highway 88. It will be shut down for the next 2 hours, and first responders are asking you to avoid the area. So just make sure you're, oh, there's the photograph right there. They will take some time to get that upright. That looks like lumber to me. Mm-hmm. So it will be a challenge. What is going to be a challenge is cleaning up the Baltimore Bay following
what a thing.
the Dolly collision with that bridge early yesterday morning. It really just starting to, I mean, we woke up to the news yesterday and we had a pretty good sense of what had happened, but 24 hours means a whole lot more detail is made available to us. I mentioned it yesterday. Photographs do not do the scale of this justice.
Yes. Okay. So I saw the same picture this morning that's up here on the screen, and you don't think about it, and then you see all those little boats that are actually big boats.
That's right. Those Coast Guard cutters or those tugs, those are good size vessels compared to the vessels that you and I are typically on. So when it shows you how much of that bridge structure is above the water, and then don't forget there are places where the bridge structure is all below the water.
Yeah.
That's 50 feet of water that is in at that spot. Few of the things that I noticed, you see that picture, and you see all of those cargo containers stacked, but there's a whole bunch of cargo containers then that went overboard and are in the water. You see so many of them still above water, you think, well, that doesn't look too bad, until you look and see what's no longer there that was there prior. But luckily, they were able to issue a Mayday call. They were able to get more vehicular traffic stopped before it entered the bridge. Save no telling how many lives in that regard.
They said, what, they have 90 seconds or something to get it finished?
It was something very quick. Yeah. And I heard a transportation expert yesterday afternoon talking about that at some point in time on busy ports like this, they're going to they should do like railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You know, even though the bridge doesn't, you know, you have those bridges that raise and then they go through but even on things such as this, especially on a bridge that doesn't have any fenders.
Right.
So if you look at these bridge piers, a lot of more modern bridges, they have fenders on the outside, crash barriers like we have on the highways. Before you get to the abutment of the bridge, there's a whole big crush barrier that you've got to go through that takes the energy away before it takes out before you hit the bridge. Well, same thing here. If there are fenders there, then that slows down some of the momentum. The ship was moving 9 miles per hour, but something that weighs 675,000 tons, 9 miles an hour is like Earth getting hit in the head by the planet Earth. So it's remarkable. But the 6 people they're still looking for were doing repairs on the bridge. They were filling potholes. There are people from Guatemala, there are people from Honduras, and there are people from Mexico that are missing.
You know, I know this is tragic, but it's your time. You know, that what a way that, you know what I'm saying, as quickly as that happened. And
when those people went to work yesterday morning and they left their families, or it was late last night, you know, when they went to work.
Yeah.
Working on a bridge is dangerous, but you think you might fall off, or you might, or you might get hit by a car. You don't think a big, huge container ship going to take out a bridge pier, the one pier that it could not live without, for it to collapse. I've been very impressed with Maryland's governor the last 2 days. He'd been on every television channel that I've looked at, and he's articulate. He is, he's empathetic about things. And so I think he's definitely impressive. Now, well, I'm going to let you fix your camera because I'm going to ask you a question about one of the things that I heard the governor say is he talked about how this is going to be an issue for months, weeks, months, years. And while this port is not the busiest port in the world, there are implications like cruise lines coming out of there, many different ones. But in particular, this port is very popular and important for goods such as farm equipment and autos.
Yes.
And so I am wondering, when I heard him say this is going to have impact on farmers in Kentucky, he used that as an example. So what do you know anything about this port on why it's so important to farming?
Well, I do think it carries a lot of the equipment that is, there's farm equipment. And then it also leads, it's not as big as New Orleans and some of the bigger ports that, bring in grain. And just like everything else, it has implications because it's carrying grain, cargo, fuel, large equipment, and all of those things. And we're getting ready to get into fertilize. We're getting ready to get into planting season. And so that's one of those things that, people really don't think about, but that's an important part of this system. But what I did see was mostly machinery that came into that port. So
I've never really understood the transit route for things like fertilizer and grain. And typically I think of us exporting those types of things, but there obviously are things that have to come in that we treat our fields with, et cetera, that, get loaded up in buggies and distributed across farmland everywhere. I typically think of that coming up the Ohio River, but it's not always that way.
It's not always.
It can come from any different direction, I suppose. So.
No, and it'll be interesting too. They said something about it. There's some coal that goes through there as well. I think that is from Appalachia. So I do think that it's going to be interesting to see how it does affect us. I don't think it's going to be, we'll see effects of it, but I don't think it'll be something like a huge port that we deal with, but I do think we'll have some trickle down effect.
I'm curious to know the engineering feat that's going to take. Like, how do they get the port open? They're not going to get the bridge is not going to be there for a while. How do they get the port open so they can at least navigate those waters? It'll be interesting to see. The big waters that were trying to be navigated in Lexington, perhaps seemingly for the time being, calmed last evening after Mitch Barnhart and John Calipari had their annual postseason meeting, according to the both of them. You and I exchanged a couple of messages Thursday evening after the game, and I heard from you, and you just you were not happy, and I predicted that it was going to get ugly over the next couple of days, and it has. Are you still where you were Thursday night, or have you cooled, or what do you think?
I'm still frustrated. I'm still frustrated. I think there needs to be, of course, he went on his radio show the other night and said all of the right things, but I do think that actions speak louder than words. And until there is some sort of change that's made, like I said, of course, he's going to be our coach, and I hope that he's successful. If that's the case, then so be it. But we have got to quit losing the first round of the NCAA tournament. We are the laughingstock of the NCAA. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I think I said. We're a punchline that people will make fun of. So it sounds like he's got one more opportunity to preserve his legacy.
And I hope that meeting was and I don't know, I would have hoped with Mitch Barnhart that it is that way. Listen, this is your last chance. I've got people that have the money to get you out. If you don't take care of business, then we're done.
I think the KSR crew summed it up pretty well yesterday that the administration was not last year where the fan base was.
Right.
The administration is now this year to where we were last year, and that makes the outcry even louder. So I hope that Barnhart leveled with him yesterday and just said, if you'll get out of your bubble for a minute, you'll understand how unhappy people are with you and with the performance over the last 4 years, and hopefully they'll do something different. I'm to the point of, I'm also of the school, I no longer care what you have to say. I only will observe what you do.
Exactly.
Because I'm tired of you bloviating for, incessantly saying the same talking points, but then getting the same outcome and not really doing anything different.
Right.
So.
Well, and people fuss about him, well, we want a different coach. Who are you going to get better? I know that argument is there. You're going to lose these recruits. Well, if we're not doing anything with the recruits that we're getting in, what difference does it make?
We're not vulnerable
Go to the transfer portal if that's the case.
We're not vulnerable to competing against his system if this is how it performs.
Right, exactly.
So, why should we fear it? But so anyway, looks like it'll be an interesting off season, and
Is it football? We're a baseball school.
I guess so. But it will be interesting as we go through the football season, at tailgates, et cetera, as we get closer to March Madness and to the season. I think you're going to see levels of emotion, varying emotion, start to bubble back to the top.
Of course.
Because it'll be all eyes on what's going to happen.
So you said we're a baseball school? So that means I can keep all of my Kentucky items out. I considered pulling all of my Kentucky items out of Vandalay.
Yeah, no, we were ranked. I mean, we're
Okay,
ranked
all right,
in the
good.
top 25.
Just put a sign on them, say UK baseball items.
Okay.
And
nice,
UK
yeah.
baseball is currently ranked number 15.
Okay.
In the
I don't know if
country.
they ended up losing last night. They were down, but
Good
yeah,
information.
they're doing very well.
Yeah.
They're utilizing that thing called the transfer portal, and it's working for them.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, they're getting the most out of it. I mean, I think various programs are using it. They just might not be using it as effectively.
Right.
UK women have a new basketball coach. Kenny Brooks comes from Virginia Tech. He will take over the helm of the women's program for Kyra Elsie. I did see the interesting stat. They took Kyra Elsie's last 4 years at UK and John Calipari's last 4 years at UK, and hers were far better. Hers got her fired, but they're still far better than.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
She had an SEC tournament championship in there, and he did not. But I think it's telling. I heard yesterday commented that he is a Waynesboro, Virginia native, so he's from Virginia, coaching in Virginia. I think this is more of I think this says more about the SEC than it necessarily does about UK. I think there are people in the ACC going, whoa, this thing's taking on water. I better get into one of the power conferences while I can. So happy to have him. And then down the road, down I-64, can you believe U of L would hire another guy by the name of Patino?
Yeah,
You
I
can?
can. Nothing ceases to amaze me in this world anymore. And, it's like they say, I've got some friends that are diehard Louisville fans, and they'll take anything at this point.
Yeah. Would they hire him if his name weren't Patino? And so if they're hiring because his name is Patino, have they forgotten how they ended up in the ditch to begin with? I mean, that's what I guess you got to have short memories in the
I guess you
business,
do.
but my goodness, I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, he's bounced around, been at Minnesota, done New Mexico. He was an assistant at U of L, so have right at it.
I think their problem is they're scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point, unfortunately for them.
By the way, the same way they say they feel about Patino, they felt about Kenny Payne 2 years ago too.
Yes.
So great fit for the program, has a history, etc. So be waiting to see. Lots of eyes on college basketball next season. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues the Rogers Funeral Home legacy. A steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwood. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogerswatkins.com or experience the Rogers difference personally on Main Street in Clarkson.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
We only started this road trip 15 minutes ago. And we have about 6 hours left. But there's a McDonald's right off this exit. And that kind of feels like fate. Deal.
Get a McDouble, McChicken, 4 McNuggets, or small fries. Buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid per product of equal or lesser value.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 3rd.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
There's only one thing better than being a kid. Being a healthy kid. So give them the best shot at it. With no-cost health insurance from K-Chip. Now available through Connect. Nothing could be simpler. All you need to do is visit connect.ky.gov/K-Chip and see what benefits you and your kids qualify for. Every kid should have health insurance. And now, every kid can.
Apple is facing 3 new consumer lawsuits that claim it's monopolizing the smartphone market. The class actions were filed by Android users in California and New Jersey. The claims allege that Apple keeps certain essential apps, services, and hardware exclusive to the iPhone, thus maintaining a monopoly by eliminating competition with Android smartphones. The estate of FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange co-founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, is selling its majority stake in Anthropic. The bulk of the $884 million worth of the AI startup's shares are going to go to a wealth fund in the United Arab Emirates. Jane Street, HOF Capital, the Ford Foundation, and several Fidelity funds are buying the rest. A Bay Area company is using artificial intelligence to discover new medicines. Profluent was born out of a Salesforce research project. One of the researchers on the team started Profluent and plans to bring the technology to pharmaceutical companies. And Amazon is launching a same-day medication prescription delivery service in New York City. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield, NBC.
Today is Joe Day. So if you don't like your name, today you just get to go by Joe.
Okay.
So I insist people call me Joe today because I don't like my name. If that's you, have fun. It's Scribble Day.
Every day for me.
Scribbling.
Sometimes
it turns into really neat art. It's Little Red Wagon Day.
Oh,
You can't ride in my little red
I've
wagon.
actually been looking for a vintage little red wagon.
Wonder why. And
I don't know.
it's Spanish Paella Day.
I don't.
Yes, those are good.
I like paella. Now, you're going to get a little bit of a shock when you go to the spice aisle. Need to buy the saffron.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who buys the saffron.
Yeah, it doesn't weigh very much, but it certainly makes the cash register ring. It's
Yes,
kind
it
of weird.
does.
And it's Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day.
Oh goodness.
Well, I mean, that's about all of them, isn't it?
Lots of good
Anymore?
quirky.
There's a tear in my beer.
Oh sure. Well, yeah. But one of my favorites is I gave her the ring, she gave me the finger.
Yeah.
That's like it's always
Going through
good.
the big D and don't mean Dallas.
Yeah, that's one. Let's see. Her teeth were stained, but her heart was pure.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
I don't know. Is there some Cletus T. Judd ones in there or something that are?
I saw a note here said he's got away with women and he's just got away with mine.
Oh no.
The one I remember being at an early age. I don't know if it was out around this time, but I thought it was "Thank God in Greyhound She's Gone."
Wow, that's interesting.
Load her up on Greyhound.
Yeah.
Or she loaded up on Greyhound and took off. All right. It is Cadbury Bunny season.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cadbury Company, has been very clever the last few years with coming up with a spokes animal that's not a bunny. And this year they chose a raccoon.
I think I saw something on that.
You did see it?
Yeah.
Kind of lost my paper. Oh, there you can see it on your screen there. It is a raccoon, and I knew his name.
Well, so here, I asked for a piece of paper. You knew you'd put it in that pile.
Oh, okay.
So I actually have the piece of paper.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
right. So this is Louis. He's 2 years old. He's from Miami, and he is he won a contest from 32 entrants among cats, dogs, horses, a donkey, and a goat.
Is he the one that comes out of the dumpster? You know that meme? Where it's like, help me.
Must be. So $7,000 they got in order for winning the contest. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of turned into an odd Easter tradition that Cadbury is doing.
When Pocahontas, she had a raccoon. Rico?
Yes.
Was it Rico? Was that his name?
Miko.
Miko.
Miko. I was close.
You were very close. Mm-hmm.
So do you say, thanks, Easter Louie? Like, when what sound does a raccoon make? You can't say bok bok. You can't say
I don't know.
Easter bunny. I don't know. Here are, speaking of strange Easter traditions, here are some from around the world. In Australia, they have the Easter bilby. In an attempt to raise awareness about the dwindling bilby population, confectioners in Australia have taken to making chocolate likenesses of this small rabbit-sized marsupial.
Huh.
The Easter bilby. On Easter Monday, the residents of Hull, France, usually crack more than 4,500 eggs into a gigantic pan to create a massive Easter omelet that serves over 1,000 people.
I could eat an omelet right now.
In Hungary, Miss Hungry, in Hungary, women dress up in traditional clothes on Easter and get splashed with water, or sometimes even have a bucket of water chucked over them. In historic times, the water was considered a way to keep healthy and fertile. Now it's just a fun tradition. I mean, unless you're getting water dumped on you, I suppose. In Finland, Easter is a lot like Halloween, the way we celebrate Halloween. In Papua New Guinea, chocolate isn't much use in the steamy jungles of Papua New Guinea, so Easter trees are part of their celebrations instead. But instead of sweet treats or colorful decorations, people dress up their trees with tobacco and cigarettes and use them as places of worship leading up to Easter. In churches, small trees are decorated with sticks of tobacco and cigarettes too. These are handed out after the Easter service. So a lot like going to church in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
The
I saw something yesterday. It just made me think about there was a video about the cigarette and the ash and seeing how long it would go before you're like, is it ever going to fall? You know, seeing your grandparents or your mom or whatever.
Not take
that
it
just
out
made
of
me think.
not
Yeah.
take it out of their mouth.
Yeah.
In Greece, the Easter bunny sees red. So not multicolored eggs in Greece. All the Easter eggs in Greece are red.
Huh.
The Great Easter Bunny Hunt in New Zealand, they actually get out and hunt rabbits, bunnies. And then in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, be careful. If you're a woman and you find yourself in the Czech Republic or Slovakia on Easter Monday, it's perhaps best to stay indoors. Local men and boys roam the streets with decorated willow switches, usually adorned with ribbons, looking for girls to lightly whip.
What?
Yeah, you would not get away with that here.
No, that tradition really never took off here in the States. I don't know.
Wow.
Except maybe in Arkansas. I don't know. Here are the brand names that are the most popular or most known in the United States. Y'all want to take a guess at what the most?
Brand?
The brand, the logo, the logos of the companies
I can
that
tell you the
think
one
are
I think of,
Okay.
and it's brown and yellow. Is it food or is it just a logo?
No, just these are the most
Nike.
recognizable brand
I'm
logos.
thinking UPS.
I see. When you said brown, I'm like, it has to be UPS.
Nike?
Nike's on the list. They're in the top 5. Number 10, YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I bet. Okay. Well.
And
I
number
don't know
9,
the first one.
Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Adidas is at 8. Facebook is at 7. Google is at 6. Starbucks at 5. Nike at 4. Coca-Cola at 3.
Okay.
McDonald's at 2.
That was my first thought, but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if we were going that. Okay.
Apple at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
That's
makes
the
sense
way
to me.
the survey of adults in the United States listed them in that order. In Kentucky, is it safe to say that beyond these, this would be a Kentucky specific, is it fair to say that the UK logo is the most recognizable in Kentucky?
Yeah, because it's recognizable everywhere other than Kentucky. So
Okay.
yes.
So then we were being encouraged to look at it a little more closely. Would it be fair to say that in our area, that's one of the most famous logos? That
Yeah.
would just be
Yes.
to our area?
Sure.
Like our logo?
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. I couldn't think of anything that, I mean, I can think of some other companies that have been around long enough, but probably don't have the awareness
Logo, yeah.
that
that
we
is-
do, or the logo consistency,
Exactly.
because it's just got tremendous brand awareness.
Yeah, well, I was going to say UK's logo, the original logo, that's stayed the same. But if you're an extension, it's changed 4 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we still have the UK block, but as far as our cafe logo, it has changed.
You know, I think in Kentucky too, that Unbridled Spirit logo
Yeah.
is extremely popular, and why they stopped using that, I don't really know.
I would argue the Kentucky Proud logo is pretty popular.
I would agree with you. I think it has gotten that way. It just does not have the same heritage as the. But then you can get into different UK logos, whether it's Power K or whether it's Cat Tongue or whether it,
Yeah.
you know, however you want to do it. She brought a piece of merchandise home a couple of months ago that
Did it have the Power K on it?
it didn't have the Power Cake, but it had the cat tongue. And but I
Okay.
looked real closely to see if it was a specialty. Oh, is
Okay.
it over there? Yeah, on that.
it's
on
right
that chip
there.
I have
tray.
to look at it
But
and
I thought
see.
there was something
Listen,
else too.
Can be
I had
yours
to
for the right amount.
I had to share with her that there is a particular version of that logo that was used for a very brief period of time. That if you
Yes.
have it,
You've got
Yes.
some money.
you've got
Yeah.
you've got it. It's not really something you talk about publicly.
Right.
Lay's is debuting 4 nostalgic flavors that'll remind you of home. They include Lay's BLT sandwich, the crispy taco, the fried pickles and ranch, and the kettle cooked lime and cracked pepper version.
Okay, I would try 3 of the 4 of those.
I want the BLT sandwich.
I do too.
I want the crispy taco, and I want the fried pickles with ranch.
I want the fried pickles with ranch, and I would even try the lime and the pepper.
I would try it, but that doesn't really blow up my skirt. You know, I don't go like, ooh, that's,
But the taco
I would
does
try
it
them
for me.
all.
yeah,
But the BLT sandwich is probably the one if I had to choose one.
sounds intriguing. All right, do me a favor, ladies. Hold your hands up like this, just straight, relaxed. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Whitney. Okay. So you see my hands? You see them on the monitor?
Uh-huh.
Now to see what my pinkies are doing?
Yeah.
I got tech pinky.
Ah.
Now you've had surgery on one of
Right,
your,
mine
a couple surgeries on your hand, so
Yeah.
that's one thing that helps. But if you'll notice, Whitney, on your left hand, your left pinky goes one way that your right pinky does not, and
Goes this
it's
way.
because of a whole lot of this.
Yep.
Mine is because it's
Yep.
been broken.
So if you hold
And
your
pins.
phone and your pinky is your brace on either side, so that's tech pinky. So they are being encouraged for you to look out for extended use. Also, don't forget that your thumb joints were not made to do what we're doing with them.
Right.
So you can get texting thumb. You also, they are predicting that over a long period of time, from an evolutionary standpoint, we're going to get these little spikes in the back of our head because we are looking down so much.
I have to remind myself to.
So these are
Yes,
all
I've been
things that,
sitting
so
here
you
stretching this
got to
morning.
watch the tilt. Your head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds, and when it's not up straight and it's over this way, it will affect your alignment. So just all these small things that we're doing repetitively over and over, they don't seem to have make a big impact in the moment, but they have a very cumulative effect. But when I did if I just lay my hands down, I don't try to do anything. I have to hold my pinkies in if I want them to be closed. Otherwise, they both just go out like that.
And you don't even think about it.
No, and I think that's from holding the phone. And the phones have gotten bigger and heavier. My little Motorola Razr didn't do that.
No, me neither. My Nokia didn't do that.
It just didn't. That was not a problem. And perhaps to upset you all on the show today, it's not my intent that this might upset you. One of you maybe more than the other. Dollar Tree is increasing their maximum price in stores to $7. That's not a Dollar Tree, that's a Dollar Forest. They already raised the price to $5 in June, and now they're going on up to $7. You want to know why?
Why?
Well, one, they're trying to make a profit. They're having to close a bunch of stores, so that's a concern. But they are noticing a whole big shift in the demographics of people that are shopping at their store. They used to find people who were bargain shopping, or they could only shop at Dollar Tree, so that's where they shop. But now you're finding a whole bunch of people that, because of inflation, because of they still have the discretionary income, but they're more likely to give them a shot when they wouldn't give them a shot before. They had to say, well, I only shop at Target, or I only shop at, and now they're saying, I'm going to give the Dollar Tree a shot. So it will bring a higher price. And that's one of the reasons they're making the change. So.
That's unfortunate.
Now, you're on the staff at Olson's Mercantile. You're not on the staff at Dollar Tree FD, are you?
Correct.
Okay, just checking to make
Correct.
sure.
Yes.
A woman doesn't know whether to laugh or cry after her plumber boyfriend stole her toilet following their breakup. She decided to end things with her boyfriend because he doesn't pay his way and refuses to tip service staff, both traits that she doesn't want in a long-term partner. Shortly after their breakup, she went to lie down in her bedroom while he packed his bags to leave their shared house. But she ended up falling asleep while he collected his belongings. And when she woke up, he was gone, and so was the toilet.
Okay. There's a lot of red flags in that. In that.
Yes. But I think
And the toilet is just part of it.
Yes. But I think taking it is hilarious.
She said, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. She said, it's so unique.
It's great.
I just almost have to laugh at it. But so she found a plumber to install a toilet, but for a while she had to.
Don't be getting any ideas, because it sounds like you and plumbers don't work out.
Yeah, you don't have a type, apparently. We've got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Alexa Rastigue was a student at Bellarmine University. When she got the call, no one wants to receive.
A drunk driver was driving under the influence, going 127 miles per hour.
He caused a crash, killing 2 and severely injuring Alexa's mother and brother.
He left that scene without a scratch, while my family suffered.
Drive sober, Kentucky, because drunk driving is a dead end.
Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Celebrate the big horse race at the Paristown Derby Day Garden Party, presented by Woodford Reserve at Paristown on Saturday, May 4th. Wager and watch the races. Enjoy live music, cocktails, food, and more. VIP and general admission ticket options available. VIP tickets include boxed lunch, complimentary drinks, and private spaces. Tickets on sale now at paristown.com. Don't miss Paristown's Derby Party for the people.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm tracking team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. We'll see much more sunshine this afternoon with highs in the 50s across the area. So despite the sun, we're still going to keep it pretty chilly out there. For tomorrow, sunny, warmer with highs in the upper 50s and the low 60s. We'll be jumping into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees for a high on your Friday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Get down.
Did you know Dr. Pepper does not have a period in its logo to abbreviate Doctor to DR? And the reason is because the font they use, if it included a period, it would look like Pepper. It would look like DI, and then it would look like a colon, and then pepper, so they had to strike that. This says Dr. Pepper.
Interesting.
Or DR Pepper. You have to assume that it means DR because there's not a period there to know that that's an abbreviation down to doctor. And I'm not sure where he got his medical degree, to be clear. I'm just...
I don't know, but it's good stuff.
People might call him doctor like they call Julius Irving Dr. J. It may not be, but we have Dr. Is that what's in your cup there in Dr. Pepper?
Mm-hmm.
I knew you're on your Dr. Pepper kick these days. What in the world is going on with Sean Diddy Combs?
I don't know.
Is he the Jeffrey Epstein of the hip hop world? Is this what we're going to come to learn?
Maybe. Listen, nothing surprises me anymore, it seems like. And so I'm not, whatever they find, I'm not going to be surprised. I'll be disappointed, but.
So his alleged mule was arrested on drug charges yesterday. I think he that was 25-year-old Brendan Paul, but he, being Diddy, maybe have been trying to flee. Listen, when you've got Homeland Security,
yeah,
this is not the FBI, it's not the state police, it's not local police, not the LAPD. When the Homeland Security raids your homes in California and Miami simultaneously, so the people in one can't tip off the people in the other, you got serious problems.
Trump didn't even have Homeland Security, did he?
I don't know. There's and this all grew out of the civil suit. Like somebody got a look at the civil suit and said, let's check these things out here. And it'd be interesting to see what happens. So,
wow.
Not going to be able to play his music now either. I guess I got to put him over there in the R. Kelly pile.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, what do we do about that? Do we just pretend that it's not him singing it? I mean, we can't watch Bill Cosby stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
You gotta set a precedence, I guess. My goodness.
The Pirates of the Caribbean, Jerry Bruckheimer, who is a fellow Kentucky property owner, just like you all. That's something you have in common with Jerry Bruckheimer. You both own property, real estate in Kentucky. He says the next movie will reboot the franchise. The next installment in the fantasy supernatural swashbuckler film series will reboot the entire franchise. He says that with hit franchises like Top Gun and Pirates, he said it's hard to tell. You don't know. You don't really know until you do it. He said you don't know how they come together. You just don't know because with Top Gun, you have Tom Cruise, who is iconic and brilliant. But we're going to reboot Pirates so that it's easier to put together because you don't have to wait for certain actors. So what this means is Johnny Depp's still too toxic. So we're going to develop.
But I don't think there's another person that can play that part as well as he did.
I know. And one of the reasons is because it wasn't created for him, but he was the first to play it. And he will be, I presume, the best to play it.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know the backstory, Pirates of the Caribbean has been an attraction at Disneyland and Disney World since the opening of the Magic Kingdom. And they went back and created the intellectual property based upon the attraction. They developed the entire franchise. So when they built it, it was never an actor stepping in to look like Jack Sparrow. Right. Jack Sparrow suddenly looked like Johnny Depp, to the point that they went back in and reimagined their attractions so that Jack
looks
Sparrow
like-
in the attractions looks like Johnny Depp.
Yes.
So do they throw Keira Knightley out? Do they throw Orlando Bloom out?
See, and I don't know. I loved those series. And in fact, when they're on, I'll watch it. There's only one of them that I don't really care for, and I
He
think that
does
was The
too.
Fountain of Youth that I wasn't a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
But I love all of them, and I'm just going to have a really hard time. It's not been enough time to do that.
There are few franchises that will get me out of the house to the theater. Pirates is one, James Bond is another,
Yes.
Star Wars is the third.
Yeah.
Now, Top Gun got me out, but it's not really a franchise.
Right.
You know, it's the second movie in a series of something from the 80s that I really like. Speaking of movies, Bad Boys, the series is getting extended. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are back for more action. This is a good franchise. It's not one that gets me out of the, it's not one that'll get me out of the house to the theater. But here's where I object. Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, I do not understand the phrase ride or die.
I don't get it either. I guess maybe because you're riding with them, you're going to go with them either way.
I
you
know what it's inferring. I just don't, I don't know if it's because it's overused. I'm just not sure. So those are our only two choices. We can't sit. Can we just, can we just like tread water?
Yeah.
Can we just sit
Can we
on the,
float?
can we sit on the porch and rock back and forth? Why is it that we have to ride or we have to die? They feel like very much extremes.
Yeah.
So I just,
Yeah.
it's also like, I gotta tell you, when people say that there's something strong,
Mm-hmm.
like Boston did that
Uh-huh.
after the bombing of the,
Yeah.
the marathon.
They were kind of the first to do it.
They were, and they own that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing I'll give to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But now, whenever some tragedy happens and everybody just tacks strong at the end, it loses its punch.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So-
I'll have to tell you a funny story off the air
My-
about that.
Might be the only thing that I'll agree with Boston on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
From Bad Boys to Beach Boys, there's a new documentary coming out to Disney Plus on the Beach Boys. It will be out May 24th, a celebration of the legendary band that revolutionized pop music and the iconic harmonious sound they created that personified the California dream, captivating fans for generations and generations to come. When I lived in Evansville, we promoted Beach Boys at the Mesker Amphitheater, and we were the presenting station because we had an oldie station at the time. And I was very young, but I had to do promotions that kind of tied in. So when the Beach Boys hit the stage, I was part of a group, and it was my idea. We had inflated 500 beach balls and threw them out into the crowd all at the same time as they came to the stage. And so I'll never forget the looks of that. But I'll also never forget that people say that Mike Love from the Beach Boys is not a very nice guy, and he's not a very nice guy. But Uncle Jesse is an okay guy.
Yeah.
You know, John Stamos, he's all right. But,
Yeah.
So the Beach Boys, you want to learn more about them, or if you want to go to the movies and watch Bad Boys, just wait until that. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
You never know what a day is going to bring. At its worst, life can crash in upon you without warning. Just remember, when it does, you're going to need the support of people around you. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. Matt is taller than most folks, which makes certain situations a challenge, like boarding a plane, for example. He was once shuffling down the narrow aisle when, wham, he bonked his head on something above him. He looked back to see what he'd hit, but before he could identify it, wham, he hit his head again. Have you ever felt that way? You're walking through life and a tragedy unexpectedly hits you. It could be an illness, financial disaster, a broken relationship, or even the death of a loved one. And before you can fully come to terms with the heartbreak and confusion of that event, another problem blindsides you. Well, when life crushes in upon us, one of the worst things we can do is try to handle it on our own. Tragedy can bring even the strongest people to their knees, and that's why we need the support of a trusted community when times get tough. Family, friends, and professional counselors are the ones who can give us strength to face another day when we can't do it on our own. If life has left you reeling, we can help. Speak with one of our counselors at 1-800, the letter A in the word family, or visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Congratulations! You're gonna be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
Hey guys, it's Ashley. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave me a message.
That's Ashley's voice that I hear. And that's the only thing that the drunk driver has left me with.
Teresa Martinez will never forget the morning a police officer and a coroner showed up at her door.
And he placed my daughter's necklace and my daughter's ring in my hand. And that's when I knew that my daughter was gone.
Drive sober, Kentucky, because drunk driving is a dead end.
Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
MB's point to ponder for today. Are you any of the following office personalities? Right? There are lots of different office personalities, but here are the 5 most threatening. So I hope you're none of these. But maybe you can identify people who are these. The exploder, charismatic and charming, but a powder keg ready to explode.
No.
The empty pit. This coworker has lots of personal problems, and he or she leans on you and makes you feel guilty if you refuse to help them. There's the saboteur, a friend, a fan, perhaps even an admirer, yet all the while this person is twisting the knife in your back. There's the pedestal smasher. This one puts you on a pedestal only to find ways to chip away at it and bring you down. And then there's the chip on the shoulder. Smart, capable, and bitter. This colleague is convinced that he or she is being treated poorly by everyone. You all know anybody that fits any of those bills?
You know.
You may have ran across somebody at a job long ago.
Sure.
At a
Right.
job you had a long time ago
Right.
that those people are no longer part of your life. Okay,
Right.
I got it. On television tonight, Survivor. Whew, that one guy was rough.
Listen, Linda, that was, I lost
sorry.
every ounce of patience. Oh,
I don't have
goodness
any.
gracious.
I don't watch it.
He didn't want $1 million. He wanted to touch a
A
million
million
hearts.
hearts. Okay, honey.
It's so bad. It's so bad, Whitney, when you get to tribal council and they don't even have
They
to
don't even
vote. Like they don't even have a vote.
Spoiler alert,
They just sit
yeah.
there in the seats and say, it's
Say it.
him.
Yeah.
He's leaving. So they don't even have a
It's
vote.
just-
It's really funny.
That is funny.
Okay, today's Amazing Race is also on tonight. Get it, Phil. And Chicago Med, if that's more your speed. Today's highlight in history, this day in 1973, The Godfather won the Academy Award. Brando, though, wouldn't accept the Best Actor Oscar. He thought it should go to somebody else. In 1513, Ponce de Leon sighted present-day Florida. I think he was looking out his little, his little scope, and he said,
I see land.
"Is that Club La Vela?" Birthdays today.
Oh, goodness.
Andrew Ferris of NXS is 65. Quentin Tarantino is 61. Polly Perrette is 55. She used to play Abby Shuto on NCIS, but she just kind of, I don't know if she's working. She just may be laying low. Mariah Carey's 54. Nathan Fillion is 53. Fergie is 49. Halle Bailey, the Little Mermaid, is 24 today. Gone but not forgotten, Cale Yarborough was born this date in 1939. We had a laundry list and then some of birthdays, and gone but not forgotten yesterday is a day that's hard to rival in that regard. So by comparison, today's list a little bit light. Let's go to chart toppers. 1944, Bing Crosby, number one, with Poinciana.
It's not a Christmas song?
The Song of the Tree. Believe it or not, he sang 12 months. Whitney, thanks for coming in.
Glad to be
good,
here.
Good to see you.
Yep. Happy
No,
you're
you're gonna get feeling better. You're gonna be.
I hope so. Yes.
Gonna take the world by storm.
Yes.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, "Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy." MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Whitney Carmen, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the